Hey folks, Charlie here from Charlie in the Rain, and I am catching up today with an artist who's like releasing that music it's honest, it's raw, it's hitting you where you didn't expect it to, because it's such gorgeous music. Sitting down with this artist because she is releasing a brand new single called Waterworks. It's out everywhere now. It is Aubany. How are we doing this morning?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for having me. Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm so excited to chat because your music, it has this like beautiful way of just like it gets in your head and your heart and like you just don't expect anything to sit that well. I love it.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yes. But would you like to start us off by introducing yourself and your music, just in case someone out here is watching who hasn't discovered you yet and you're about to become their new favorite artist?
Yeah, of course. So my name's Aubany, and I grew up in Brisbane and just moved to Melbourne this year to pursue music full time. And I've been writing songs my whole life, from piano to guitar. And I went to uni and studied music, but only in the last 2 years have I been sort of deciding to produce and release my songs. So yeah, it's been a journey, but I've got a few songs out now. I'd very much so say that my songwriting is very much so like the big emotions. I think they're all very like very heavy, very like I don't know, sort of that young like overwhelming emotional love and heartbreak, which is what I love. I love the epic cinematic songs. I just can't help it. I'm a sucker for them. So yeah.
Yeah, oh, I love that. You've got to have someone's got to be covering those big heavy feelings and you've got our backs.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm here for you guys.
Yeah. But speaking of those big, heavy feelings, you've got a brand new single out, and it's really addressing like your younger self and addressing the things you've gone through that have brought you to where you are. And I just think it's such a beautiful track. I'd love to ask if you could tell us a bit more about this song.
Yeah, of course. So the song's called Waterworks, and the song's actually about, yeah, like it's a conversation with my younger self, pretty much, and sort of that trying to capture that emotion of wanting to go back and help your younger self and sort of reflecting on the things that they went through or those situations they went through where now you know better how you could have helped yourself, and just sort of letting go of almost that like frustration that you can't go back. Um, so yeah, it's a pretty like heavy, I guess, song, but I think it's also a very chaotic song musically. Like there's a lot of harmonic meter changes, sort of like you're going through different doors in the song every couple bars basically. But that was very intentional, I think, just to sort of capture how much of a whirlwind it is growing up and also having, each of yourselves still with you and trying to, I don't know, trying to get to a point where you've forgiven each one of yourselves and not getting stuck in your old ways. So that's why it's a bit like being in a washing machine, basically. But yeah.
Yeah, oh, I love that. I feel like that's the most apt descriptor. Like you're just like going around in that sort of like cycle internally, like that
Big
washing
time.
machine. Mm.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I honestly I love this because so much of what you look for in the media you consume, it's for the like the collage and like the bricolage of your identity, all the little parts of your younger self that make who you are. And I think it's just so special to be looking back and speaking to that younger self. I would love to ask, this is probably loaded, but if you could then have that conversation with your younger self. God knows where technology is taking us. One day you probably could. But if you could have that conversation with the younger self you wrote this song to today, what would you say? What would be the one thing you'd love to say?
I think like the biggest thing is that things do change. That's like kind of, I think, my younger self was very much so hurting about, feeling like things were never going to change or feeling like the situations that I would get stuck in is just like it's just going to keep repeating itself as I get older. But I think like, and again, like I'm 23. like I'm kind of looking back on myself when I was probably like 16 or something like that. So things are going to continue to change, and like me in like 20 years will probably think the same thing, which is really cool. But yeah, I think just like change is good and change is
Mm.
coming, and like you can also make your own change. You don't have to feel stuck. Like I think that's what I wish I could have said or could have known at the time. But again, such is life. You got to go through it to learn it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's such just like a beautiful thing also to remember. But as you said, you're gonna look back on this song into the future, 20 years in the future, and be like, wow, okay, like maybe now I'm gonna dedicate this song to the me who wrote this song.
Right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Definitely.
Yeah, oh, it's such a beautiful but also like low-key scary cyclical type of thing.
Terrifying, actually. Terrifying.
Yes.
Yeah. Hmm.
But yeah, one thing you mentioned about this song is how like sonically there's like so many different like shifts and feelings that go into it. I feel like every time I sat down to listen to it, I hear something different or something that like I didn't hear or didn't like recognize the first time or the time before, which I feel is also just like such a cool thing. Could you tell us a bit more about that sort of like sonic landscape and sound of Waterworks?
Mm. Yeah, I think there is a lot of elements to it where I feel that that happens because there's lots of layers. Like we've kind of got like, I mean, I've always been a harmony girl, always used to love my harmonies. But this is probably the first song where I've been like, all right, I'm embracing how much I love them. There's lots of doubles and stacks. But there's also, I don't know, little drum moments or little meter changes, or synth moments and things like that, that I think when you listen intentionally each time, yeah, you hear different things that poke out to you more, or words that poke out to you more. Because I guess lyrics aren't as much of the focus in this song as they are in my other more ballad songs that I've released. So I think, yeah, that's probably why. And I love that about this song, definitely. Like you can kind of listen from a distance and it's just like a bit of a vibe and a bit of a weird, um, I don't know, like weird bop, I guess you could say. But if you sit down and listen intentionally, it's kind of like, yeah, there's layers to it and you can kind of really dig into it. Mm.
Yeah, absolutely. I love when a song can do like that sort of Hannah Montana effect. It can just be like your casual listening background noise moment, and then you get into it and you're just like, whoa, I didn't realize I was missing this much of it.
Yeah, all the Easter eggs, exactly.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah, and you're making your mark out here so far with your music as like an artist who doesn't shy away from talking about these things that others would consider to be heavy or like, oh, that's too much to like dive into in what like a 3-minute song. But you're
Hmm.
out here doing this raw, honest. I love it. Can you like tell us a bit about how it feels to be writing these like hyper personal and vulnerable songs?
Hmm. I feel super safe doing it, weirdly. I think maybe, I don't know, I think it's part of who I am. Like it always has been. Like I've been very, I don't know, not even sensitive, just very open to feeling things. And I always used to think that was the most important thing and like the thing that makes us human, or the thing that makes us, I guess, perfect, I think, is how messy we all are. So I love putting that sort of emotion into a song because it just feels like that's the whole point of life, or that's the whole point of feeling those things, is connection, and being able to not just, feel those things in the moment and have your friends with you and kind of level with them and be like, what the fuck's going on right now? Um, in this scenario, but actually to put it in a song and then share it with other people from across the world who have also gone through the same thing, and sort of make them feel comforted, like you're kind of having that breakdown conversation with your friend. I think that's so cool and so special. And I always used to feel so seen listening to even like Delta Goodrum on my iPod Shuffle when I was like 10. Just like, I don't know, I was like, wow, like someone else has gone through this really weird specific feeling that I've had. that I haven't spoken to anyone about. And I don't know, I think that's amazing that music can do that. So that's what I want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the moment I love most as a listener is being like, okay, I'm not alone in this. Or like whatever you're going through, there is at least five other songs out there in the world to describe that feeling. So I love having
Mm-hmm.
those sort of soundtracks. I was thinking last night about like the album that made me fall in love with like Australian music. And I went back and listened to it and I was like, these songs are so sad. They're heavy. And I was like, yeah, but that's what connected with me and that's what made it stick with me for so long.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, I just love it. I love that you've been able to be so vulnerable and that it's been a safe space through the music to do that because I feel like I would definitely be like crying myself to sleep, being like the whole world knows what I was feeling.
I'm going to start doing that now. I haven't thought about it too
No,
deeply.
we need to reclaim this as a safe space for our feelings.
No, I think it's good. But yeah, it is daunting, I think. Definitely when you have it out in the world. But I think I have that faith that everyone else, I don't know, like if you're that vulnerable with someone and if they're not open to feeling that, then it's not for them and they kind of move past it rather than, I don't know, like what are they going to do other than maybe it wakes them up to the fact that they're like, oh, that's so scary, this conversation she's having about this topic.
Mm.
And then maybe they need to think about why that's so scary for them, you know?
Yeah, do you like a full like psychological evaluation through your music?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Free therapy.
Oh, I love it. And I'd love to ask then, for people who are going into listening to Waterworks for the first time, or maybe they've had it on repeat for hours, what would you say is like the ideal listening experience for this song or for your music as like a whole?
Mm. Well, it's got to be I feel like it's headphone music. It's
Mm.
probably, it kind of depends. Like, I've got three songs and then Waterworks. So my first
Yeah.
three and then Waterworks. I would probably say that most of them would be you listen on your own and you sort of feel things, but only for the first listen. And then you can show your friend and you can
Mm.
watch them go through it. Because I think at the moment, the songs that I have out are very big feelings, and particularly Waterworks. I think if you're in the room with someone else, you're not sort of willing to go into that space of feeling things vulnerably, the song doesn't do its job as well. But again, like you can listen to it, in the car or with other people. But that's the ideal listening space. I think that's sort of what it's meant for. Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Like that first listen, or maybe like the fifth listen, still, you're just letting it all just like soak in till you actually understand the whole picture of what you're hearing. I feel like that's the most important thing. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. Mm.
Yeah. And you mentioned a lot, like you're still fairly like fresh in this like journey of releasing music, which is so exciting that for being such still like a fresh voice into this, your music is resonating so much, at least with me, and I'm sure with so many other listeners. So I would love to ask, what's like the biggest or craziest thing on the Albany bucket list? What are you hoping to achieve in the future? Whether with your music, performance wise, or just craziest dream out there.
Yeah. Oh, there'd be so many. I think the coolest things would be like I have a lot of friends that I work with in the industry, um, and would be able to go on tour with probably one of my friends and like watching. I don't know, like because there's so many amazing artists in Brisbane or like Melbourne, and just Australia that no one knows about. That I think are just as good as people in the top worldwide charts. Like I just would love to see some of their stuff get heard and also like go on that journey with them. But particularly, yeah, touring overseas, I think traveling, co-writing with really cool people. Yeah, sort of just like sharing the experience with as many people as possible, I think is my dream. And sort of, yeah, I don't know. seeing it in person too, like on a big stage, would just be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You literally mentioned my favorite thing there, which is for like I believe every chart-topping like international song that makes it viral, that makes it to number one for weeks in a row, there is an Australian equivalent, or there is an Aussie artist out there doing the same, if not better things than these international acts. There's
Yeah,
there's
definitely.
something that needs to change in this industry to get the attention back on Aussie voices for Aussie audiences and then help those voices then get to the overseas markets because we truly have the best music coming out of this country.
Yeah, there's lots of really cool, unique sounds. I think that because again, like I guess it is mostly American music. That's sort of just how it falls. But a lot of the sounds start to feel similar just because of I think producers as well. Like I think
Yeah.
that's where a lot of the sounds come from. It's just it becomes like an industry standard, almost like map of like, all right,
Mm.
how do we make it hit? It's like we use these sounds, we use this studio, we use these other people to co-produce and write with, which is like, I mean, everything's amazing as well that's coming out, but in terms of like a new wave of sound or new perspectives on production and things like that, I think we need people from overseas, and I think Australia does have some really cool things that yeah I listen to and I'm like I have never heard a
Mm.
single thing like that, and it just sticks with you. And yeah, I think that's really cool, and I think we need that for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, you just made me realize how many of the international acts I listen to all have the exact same writing and production team.
Big time. Yep. Yep. Copy paste.
Yeah, which like it works for them, it's cool, but yeah, you could easily combine like 20 different artists onto one CD and you wouldn't realize that it's like a different voice because they're all the same.
Oh, big time. Yeah,
Mm.
and everyone's writing for each other and everyone's working together. Yeah, it just happens, but I mean again, like they're doing good stuff, I can't fault
Yeah.
it.
They've found a pattern, but we just need to bring that down to Australia.
Exactly. We need to get on a flight and come over here and, and collaborate for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And I'd love to ask then, talking about topping the charts, taking the music internationally, dreams of touring, how can people who are fans of your music, of these four songs, of you as an artist, how can we best support you to get you up to that stage of kicking those goals?
I think, yeah, just listening and sharing the music, and also like just connecting with me. I think, like, I love people when they message me and they're like, "Hey, I found you." Like, I've had people from Germany randomly message me, like, "Hey, I found you on Spotify." And like, this isn't even like me trying to, like, be a producer or whatever. Like, I just love this music, and that's really cool. And I think just getting to know your audience is important. And I think a lot of smaller artists would say this, but just like come to the shows, come meet us, and like come support us when you play a gig. I think that's sort of where the music really is, or where the artistry really is when you perform to your audience. So yeah, I think just keeping a lookout for when I'm playing gigs, or when your favorite artists are playing gigs, that's definitely how you support them, is just showing up.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you mentioned, they're like people from Germany reaching out to say they love your music. That's so exciting.
I know it's so random, but I was
Yeah.
like, I love that so much. It's really cool.
Yeah, I feel like Germany, for some reason, they really get into like the Aussie indie artists.
Hmm.
I've heard so many people be like, "Oh yeah, like the only place we've toured internationally is going to Germany because for some reason we have like such a big listener base there."
Yeah, they must just really love their music, or really love like new music. I think I'm getting the feeling.
Mm. But yeah, that's like the power of social media for all its downfalls and all the complex things that artists are expected to do to thrive on social media. It really is such a great tool to be able to connect with the fans and for the fans to connect back. A lot
Hmm.
of people I've spoken to like a lot of artists are like, yeah, like when I post something, there's like maybe three comments on it being like, oh, this is cool, I like what you're doing. And it's like it takes seconds to leave a comment for your favorite artist. Like and reshare the post, send it to your friends, because you've just introduced that artist to a whole new range of people through doing that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's
Mm,
all like it brings a community together, or I don't know, just like supporting each other, definitely.
mm,
Like yeah, I'll support anyone who's doing what they love or doing good stuff.
mm,
People out there are like working so hard. And even if it's not like my favorite genre,
mm.
like I feel like you can always appreciate when someone's doing something cool or someone's doing something different. So I think just having that open mind, which I think social media has been getting better with, from what I've seen. I might be wrong, but I feel like I've seen more people just appreciating cool stuff these days and trying to reshare it and be supportive. But
Yeah.
there's obviously, yeah, downsides to social media as well. It's definitely not perfect.
Yeah. Oh, I feel like we just need to invent a new social media platform that actually works for artists without making the artists work for the platform. But that
Yeah.
ultimately would end up failing because every social media site contorts itself in that way.
I was talking to my boyfriend about this yesterday.
Mm.
Like I was saying, isn't it crazy how, like, Instagram, for example, wouldn't exist if no one posted on it? Like
Yeah.
it's almost like we're all working for free.
That's
Yeah, it's
literally
very,
it. Yeah. We're all
yeah, it's
unpaid employees to these social media networks. Because if
mhm,
everyone I followed didn't post for 3 days, I wouldn't open the app on the fourth day. Like,
exactly. Mhm.
it's
I
such
know
a
it's so
weird thing. Mm,
mhm, it's insane.
yeah. But yeah, we were talking about artists we're following, local artists we're supporting. I would love to ask my favorite question because after I ask this question, I get to go update my playlist with everyone you've just mentioned. So I'd
Mhm.
love to ask to take a sneak peek into your playlist and hear which artists in like the local Naarm scene where you're based now, or the Meanjin Brisbane scene, or just like the broader Australian scene you've been listening to and loving, and would love to give like the Albany seal of approval to and give a shout out to.
Oh my God, it's so hard. I have so many friends from Brisbane that do music that release amazing stuff, but I am obsessed with Molly Reid.
Mm,
She released an EP last year that's beautiful. I can listen to it from top to tail. And I have in all of my playlists. And it's not even because she's my friend, like, love her, but
mm,
she's incredible. And then I guess in Melbourne, I've seen like Fella Vans doing some really
mm.
cool stuff. And Alexia, I think she's from Perth. Yeah, she's like, she was one of those artists that I heard and I was like, this is a sound I haven't really heard before. And I
Mm,
thought she was amazing and she's doing incredible things now. So yeah, that's probably my top three that I've
mm.
been listening to regularly. Highly recommend if you haven't listened to them before.
Yeah, I haven't got around Molly yet, so I'm excited to do that. But
Hmm.
Fellowland, the album came out recently, like earlier this year. Obsessed with that songwriting, and Alexi is one of my like my Aussie faves. I feel like she could be Sabrina Carpenter level of famous.
Yeah.
We need to get behind her. The industry needs to get behind her.
Yeah, I feel like she's so close to, like, I think
Mm,
she's been overseas and stuff like that. So
yes.
I think she's close. And she's amazing. Exactly. She has everything. It's just ready to go, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I love those picks. I love supporting like the girlies in the Aussie indie music scene because y'all are popping off. Y'all have like the best music going on.
Yeah, especially like the independent artists.
Mm,
Like I love bands too,
mm,
but I think, yeah, it's just, I guess because that's kind of the music I write. Like I write
mm.
music for myself as a solo artist. I think I find it so fascinating when I hear another solo artist in the Australian music scene doing cool stuff. Like I'm just drawn to it. I can't help it.
Yeah, honestly, as it should be, because these artists are putting in like so much work. And especially when you think about like juggling the aspect of working day jobs and night jobs to fund the music career, taking time off work to tour, which then can like risk losing your job in this like economic and social craziness of the world. There is so much work that goes into being a solo artist or even just like a musician full stop, that when you sit back and actually get to appreciate what's happening around you, it's just the best feeling to see that these people are doing so much with like so little resources a lot of the time.
Yeah, I agree. That's definitely the cool thing. I forget that too, I guess, because
Mm,
like I'm doing that, but I forget that everyone else is also like, there's people that tour. Yeah, like
mm,
Alexia. And I remember seeing an interview where she's like, yeah, I have a second job because
yeah.
there's no way that you can just survive off music at this point. Like, you pretty much have to be famous. And even then, like if you're signed to a record deal, you're not getting
Mm,
even that much of a cut really. Um, so yeah, people are doing incredible things with what they have. It's really, really cool.
mm. Yeah, absolutely. The only like artists I know that sustain themselves full time off of music are people who are also they're songwriters for other people and they perform as a session musician. Like I don't think I know a single artist like in Australia that works 100% of the time on their artist project, because right now it's kind of impossible.
Yeah, most people that I know, it's session music, or like there's so many weird avenues that people end up
Mm,
taking. I think just from meeting people, like I know some people who play music for like musicals, like that travel
mm,
kind of like to rural places and stuff like that, for like a couple weeks, and like they don't necessarily have any interest
mm,
in musicals or on doing that, but I guess it's just like a way of getting an income from also doing something you love, or corporate gigs and things like that.
mm.
Um, but yeah, it's it's definitely a multitasking career. I think at the start for sure.
Yeah, and then there's also all the pressure alongside that to be like, oh no, you've got to like spend all your time on your craft. You've got to cultivate like your niche as an artist and like make a whole brand. And it's just like, whoa.
Yeah, you've got to be. Yeah, I think these days, because of social media, particularly, you've got to be your own marketing team. You've got to be a social media creator. Like you are the business.
Mm,
Whereas like back in the day, I guess, especially with CDs, or like music was more of like a buyable thing,
mm,
as it should be. It was easier to make money, even just in your local community, going around selling CDs and stuff. Whereas now with streaming on top of social media, it's just like almost impossible. But we all have each other, and I think that things do need to change, big time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like, I make such an effort whenever I'm at a local gig and I see an artist has a CD sitting there, and it's what? It's like 15, sometimes $20 for that CD. You're likely hearing songs on there you've never heard on
Mm.
streaming because the streaming algorithms not the best. And then it's like that money you're handing to that artist is going right back into their work. And it's like I
Yeah.
feel like I wish physical media wasn't so rare nowadays. Like I wish more people used it so it was more sustainable for artists to go like, get 50 CDs printed. Because it's my favorite thing is just like buying that CD from a local artist. You're giving the money straight to the artist that they deserve. It's
Mhm.
underrated. I feel like CDs, they need to be brought back.
Yeah, or like vinyls, or I saw someone the other day made like a almost like a hard drive that you can buy with his album on it, and you could like plug it into your phone, and then it downloads into your files, and I thought that was really, really cool. Almost like a CD, but making it more of like a new thing for phones, because like you can't deny that like phones are here, and people don't listen on vinyls, or people don't listen on CD players anymore, just because there are phones, and it's
Yeah.
probably not going to go back. unless phones cease to exist. So I guess it's sort of like figuring out how to be innovative.
Mm.
And I thought that was a really cool idea. Yeah.
Yeah. Gosh, that's so cool. Okay, I want to figure out who's doing this because that's really cool.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Oh, well, I just want to say thank you for making the time to chat today about all things Waterworks. Waterworks is out everywhere now for people who want to listen, who don't have those fancy hard drives to stick into their phones. Where is the best place for us to go give a listen to Waterworks?
You can listen on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music. There will be a live video out as well if you want to listen on YouTube to me and some of my friends playing it live if you want the full experience. But yeah, it should be out on all streaming platforms for you.
Yes, that's amazing. Thank you. I'll put all those links down below. So if you're watching, please go give a listen. And yeah, thank you so much for sharing this song because there's so much vulnerability that goes into talking to your younger self or even just writing from the heart about these like raw and honest things. So thank you for sharing it with us because I'm really hoping that there's going to be so many more people who listen to this and resonate with it, which is going to be such a special thing.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much.